Let's settle for the details now. Minority in Parliament will have Finance Minister Jakko to the House to explain how government will deal with fuel hikes. Most Ghanaians have been worried about the incessant increase in prices at the pumps and are asking government to intervene. Transport fares have been increased by 15%, a situation commuters have described as worrying. Speaking on the AM show, NDC member on Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee, Edward Bauer, said his side will invite Finance Minister to explain government's austerity measures to deal with the fuel hikes.
I'll file an urgent question to the Minister of Finance, because if you look at
You believe today you'll file an urgent question in Parliament?
An urgent question, yeah.
Are you going to file it, or do you believe you will?
I will do that. I will do that. I'll share a copy with you if I finish. I can share a copy with you. And the reason being that if you look at the three factors that affect the export prices, two of them are within the domain of the Minister of Finance. That's the issue of taxes and the issue of managing the, the city. And so he will be in the position to be able to tell Ghanaians what the position of the government is in regards to this. So it's an idea that has come up there. But that being said, I still think that, and this is my personal opinion, I still think that there are certain taxes, and I said this the last time when I was on your studios, that there are certain taxes that if you take them off, it would not affect the services for which they are supposed to fund. I've always stated this. I've indicated that if the issue of the SPT, that's a special petroleum tax, was supposed to augment petroleum revenues in terms of targets of petroleum revenues, it has at least its usefulness. At the time that we introduced it, crude prices were as low as $30 per barrel in the international market. And that's why we brought in there to plug the holes that we were talking about. Now we are talking about a neighborhood of about 111, as you stated. So it clearly indicates that it has at least usefulness. So it's a recommendation I think that government can take a second look at. The second point that is also very important for me to look at, and I stated that every assembly in Ghana pays on a quarterly basis 120,000 Ghana cedis for sanitation fee. And so if every place in Ghana falls under either a municipal assembly, metropolitan assembly, or district assembly, it means that the cleaning of those areas have already been taken care of. If that is the case, what is the business of us having that 10% on for what we call sanitation and pollution levy?
It's the 2nd of March 2022 and I'm doing a fuel price check around Accra. I'm currently at Goil and the prices at Goil are 7.880 Ghana cedis per litre for both super and diesel. Currently at the Total fueling station in Kanda, and the prices are as follows: 8.290 for super and for diesel, and for super 95 you'll be paying a little bit extra, which is 8.400. I can see on one of the pumps that for 12 liters someone spent 100 Ghana cedis. Finally, we are at Shell on the Oxford Street and the prices are as follows: 8.290 for diesel and for super, and for V Power it is 8.450 per litre. I am Mapito CBD.
So I've been checking out some prices at the pumps and I've been speaking to some drivers, and we'll get that right after this break. You're still watching JoyNews Desk with me, Mapisa CBD. Earlier this morning, I went to speak to some drivers to check the prices at the pumps and their reactions.
It's the 2nd of March 2022 and I am out and about to gauge the views of some drivers and passengers on the increase of fuel prices. I'm currently at a Goil filling station and their prices right now is 7.880 Ghana cedis per litre for both super and diesel. So let's find out what the drivers have to say about these prices.
It's affecting expenditure, a whole lot. Now, first I used to fill my tank, how do you call it, at 300 cedis. Yeah. But now I'm hitting 400, which is really uncomfortable. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's basically it.
The prices, it's unexpectable. because they just increase it anyhow they want it. The truth is that despite they are going to put all the blame on the Russia case, but that wasn't the case. The price have even risen before the Russia case came about. Are you getting me? And they are going to use that one as a care of, which is very bad. Are you getting me? Because then there's other taxes on the fuel. If they should even remove that one alone. Because I quite remember the previous government tried to do something, and then they tried to raise some money, so that in case you have this type of problem, they can use to subsidize, so that the people in the country will be okay with it. But then it wasn't that way. Are you getting me? So we have nothing to do. They are not thinking about us. Because without the fuel, I cannot move. I cannot run. So they are using it because they know that without the fuel, you cannot eat or you cannot do any business. So that's why they are using it as their position. I mean, to get whatever they want.
Then you are a taxi driver and it's affecting you every day. So does this mean that you will increase in your fare when people come? Instead of taking like 20 cedis to Osu, you'll take 25 to Osu because of the fuel prices. As a taxi driver, I want to know your thoughts.
Because at times when you charge, there are some people, they are just crying. At least 20 cedis, but they give you 10 cedis. Yeah. You have to take it like that because the system is sad. So you have to help them.
And now I'm about to pay to this year. Send the first me turn on echo fall. This year, I mean, sir. The ancient almost years on my. Say a lot of fair crown when Fabian come by. Am I own children? And the almost share my.
So because fuel prices across all, like, or charge it differently for your passengers?
Me charge you now. Also, or soon. Send all bed general to say if I have quite a crowd can say 20. Also, soon person yes and a job. And Tiama. Almost passengers almost
fuel prices na ekoso no edi ekọ echi because ejuma ye so obe ejuma no ska obenya no be scanning nyina akoto fuel enti aban no hwe no nya bebi wo ho
fuel prices across all
ni ekọ idie wan should say to free kromo anu mo aban no mboa ye kra ye we hu bi da kromo anu da fita meni fi ebe si ene we mi hu bi da fu akoswa kakaka bedu 40 Ghana for 1 gallon ye hu bi da ntumu ye bi mu ka bi mai wa ye brepa nya sa one show be ba street mi so bio ampa bye ye da mas
for ye de bu ye de banzo zo hwe no to sumai no bu ye de ba for ye de bu ye de so ambon hwe no to sumai na passengers no so ye de ye free kwa yo passenger bi abafo kare wakasa. So those are some
views from the Goil filling station, and I am Mapito Sibidi.
Away from fuel price hikes, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin is leading mediation talks with the leadership of Parliament to resolve the frosty relationship between the two caucuses. The talks will involve some senior citizens of the country to bring peace to the House. This comes after members of the Council of State called on the Speaker to appreciate his challenges in this hung Parliament. Mr. Bagbin, who is unhappy with how the House is degenerating into a boxing arena, is confident the mediation talks will achieve the intended purpose.
None of us is happy the way things are going. But I keep on saying that in spite of the hopes and expectations, temper it with the real challenges that such a new system will actually offer to us Ghanaians. We've never had such a hung parliament before. And you know, governance is usually run by majority. And so when you fail sometimes to have majority, decision taking becomes a serious challenge. And particularly the system that we are running. And so my BEF itself gave me some clue as to what I'm going to expect on the floor. So I really understood that I will be meeting challenges. The second is that the product of the 2020 elections is another indication that we'll be having challenges. Habits die hard. It takes time. So some habits are changing, but slowly. And as you said, we have no choice. That is what we decided for ourselves. So we must learn to live by it, and through it, don't see it as a challenge, but see it as an opportunity to rather deepen, consolidate, and entrench democratic society in Ghana. I see myself, even though I'm a member of NDC, throughout my practice, I've not been a fanatic of party politics. I've always reached across the political divide and have very good friends on the other side of the political divide. And that is how come I won. I couldn't have won without the support of members from the other side. That is a reality, that is a truism, and that I believe. And so you will hear me saying that at the end of the day, I don't expect either party to be praising me. You also heard me say that in the performance of my functions, I'll be what? Impartial. But that doesn't mean I'll be neutral.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for Bongo, Edward Bauer, says the minority will restrain First Deputy Speaker Joe Osei-Owusu from voting anytime he presides over the House.
The leadership of the majority, and consistently, they bring out statements that seem to irritate you. You have a situation where the First Deputy Speaker, you still can open your mouth and state that, oh, when the time comes and you are even presiding, you get up and come and do this. And you say it with that level of arrogance. And I'm seated at my corner. I said, okay, let's wait and see if you can do it. So then you have entrenched position. That's the first point.
So on that first point, just briefly, I'm sorry, but very briefly, is that to state that since he has, put that threat, so to speak, out there, you are also massing your forces and you'll match them to ensure that he cannot vote? Is that the point?
You can take my word to the bank. He will be matched squarely on that.
So if the First Deputy attempts voting on the e-levy, what we saw before might happen again?
I don't know what will happen, but the point I'm telling you is he will be resisted.
He will be resisted.
He will be resisted. He will be resisted. That you can take to the bank. It's an assurance I'm giving you. However, what I think that we should begin to start looking at is the fact that, look, we have made some proposals that if we, you see, the issue of making resources available for government, government development must not necessarily be as a result of trying to look for more money. You can also look at cutting on expenditure.
Okay,
we have given government areas that we can look at to cut expenditure and still be able to make up that 6.9 billion.
Okay.
Unless government is not telling us the truth, then we'll have a challenge.
Away from that, a young lady has died in an accident involving a Sprinter bus that collided with a stationary commercial minibus at Kumasi's Sawaz Junction. 2 more victims have been referred to the Commuter Teaching Hospital, one of whom is in critical condition. 11 others, including the child of the deceased, are in stable condition, according to the Kumasi South Hospital. Nanaya Ojima has more in this report.
The Sprinter bus carrying 16 passengers was bound for Eputoja. One of the victims, Kweku Yeboah, has his bruised face and hand covered in plaster. He explains the driver of the Sprinter bus was speeding excessively, causing him to run into a stationary minibus.
The driver of the vehicle was speeding. I laid my head on one of the seats. All I heard was the occupants shouting. After negotiating the bend, the vehicle lost balance and ran into the urban.
An unidentified lady who was traveling in the Sprinter bus with her toddler son died in the accident. 11 are in stable condition, while 2 were referred to the Commuter Teaching Hospital. Kwame Ofoibuadu is medical superintendent at Kumasi South Hospital.
So we had 16 people, in the road crash, and then unfortunately, one passed away, a woman. We don't know the details yet. We also had one child. 2 of them have been referred, one with head injury, one with cervical injury, and the others are very stable on the ward.
The newly constructed Atonso to Eputoja road has recorded some fatal accidents. Road users are calling for safety mechanisms on the road.
And then the men who be face to face.
I saw everything unravel. We need a traffic light on the road to save lives.
Yes, sir.
Even if the road isn't done, traffic lights should be installed.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima reporting.
Let's go to the Bono East region next, and the timely intervention of the Koran's South Municipal Security Council and the national leadership of the Fulani community saved a looming tension between local farmers and nomadic herdsmen in the Ahim community of the Bono East region. Both factions, after a meeting with the Regional Security Council, RECSEC, led by the Deputy Regional Police Commander, agreed that non-resident cattle herders would not be allowed to stay in the community in order to ensure lasting peace in the area. Correspondent Anas Sabit was at the meeting and now reports.
For several years, tensions have existed between local farmers and nomadic Fulani herdsmen in various parts of the country. These tensions have taken a violent nature and is fast becoming one of Ghana's foremost security threats. The situation isn't any different here in Ashayim, a predominantly farming community in the Nkranza South municipality of the Bono East region. As experienced in other parts of the country, especially during Harmattan seasons, residents here are accusing these nomadics of causing distractions to their farms. Assemblyman for the area, Kwaku Azubiri, bemoans how the activities of herdsmen is affecting farming activities in the area. The non-resident herdsmen are the cause of the problem. They bring in cattle that goes about destroying our farm produce, and this is a huge challenge for us because if you go for loan to venture into farming and this happens, you'll be arrested at the end. How are we going to take care of our children?
We, the women, can't go to farm. We are afraid of them. Some of them want to rape us. As at now, we don't go to farm. We are afraid. We can't go and find some food for our children. And those who have cassava in the farm, the cattle destroy all the cassava at the farm, so we don't have enough food from here.
With residents threatening to attack these herdsmen if the issue is not resolved, the Municipal Security Council, together with the leadership of the Fulani community, moved in to find a lasting solution to the matter. Daniel Uredu is the Nkranza South Municipal Chief Executive and the head of the Municipal Security Council.
MUSEC has decided that henceforth we need to engage them properly, make sure whatever issue that has come up, we settle it, considering their concerns also, so that we can at least plan very well for whatever problem that will come future.
For the leadership of the Fulani community, steps are far advanced to resolve all such conflicts across the country involving nomadic herdsmen and local farmers. Ahmed Barry is the national organizer of the Tabital Pulaku International Ghana.
The final resolution is that there's peace. As an activist or an executive member to the Fulani community, we are always looking for peace between cattle herders and then crop farmers. As we came here, you also saw the tension that was here. We thank God we've been able to rectify the problems.
However, bemoaned the stereotyping of the Fulani tribe in relation to issues associated with nomadic herdsmen.
Whenever things happen like this, like I've said, not every Fulani is a cattle herdsman and not every herdsman is a Fulani. The stereotyping against the Fulanis is honestly not helping us. But let us try as much as possible to make sure that Fulani is a tribe. Fulani is not a person's name, as we always say. So whenever something happens, they stop attaching the Fulani tribe to everything.
He further appealed to government to work towards building more cattle ranches across the country to help end this recurring conflict.
The government is doing very well. We believe that when the government comes in with this ranching system, it will help us a lot, especially the cattle herdsmen. So the animals will not be going around anyhow and be destroying properties of crop farmers.
National PR of the Fulani community and Assemblyman for Kenten electoral area, Issa Adams, called on both factions to resort to peace and asked that non-resident herders in the community are being asked to leave.
Because of cattle, animal we are eating, then we kill ourselves. It doesn't make sense. So if they have said that they don't need some of them here, we ask them to go. And those who are being here for 25 to 20 years, they should stay with them with peace, and then that will prevail.
Both factions at the end of the meeting agreed that non-resident nomadic herdsmen will not be accommodated into the Ashayem community to help bring a lasting peace to the area. Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, Ashayem.
Residents of Jakko, a suburb of the Techiman municipality, are asking city authorities to evacuate an abandoned refuge, which according to them is posing a health risk to the people and thousands of people schooling few meters away from the refuge site. They contended that the population of the community far exceeds what the refuge sites can take, and if nothing is done immediately, the situation may lead to an outbreak of communicable diseases in the area. Anasabit again.
This refuge site here is located here in Garki, a suburb of Techiman in the Bono East region. The refuge, a few meters away from various schools within the area, poses as a health threat to the people and the community at large. We are interacting with some of the residents here to find out from them how this refuge site is affecting their lives and that of the pupils schooling within the vicinity.
It's bad. It can cause illness like malaria, and school is very close to this place, which is very bad. And we even have a Melcom close to the place, so it's very bad.
Container no peja o peja on can't be as a ball and no banner container you have a ball and go see fear a bottle of a gum na festival. Mama wanting in need.
Osman Misbah is the headmaster of the Aswaj Academy Basic School. He tells me that there are days classes had to close down due to the stench and smoke generated by the refuge site.
Talking about the effect, I think as we speak now, you can see the smoke. And this smoke, it goes directly into the classroom. So at a point in time, you have to close the class and let the children go out together with them. And wait, sometimes we need to fetch water, come down here to quench the fire in order to get a good atmosphere to be able to learn. And we had borders here. They do sleep here. But if you look at the nature of the environment, the dirt here, it breeds mosquitoes a lot. So it's serious here. And I think we need a serious intervention.
The people here are equally not happy with the situation. Fatih Drisu, a JHS1 pupil, laments how the refuge site is affecting their studies and called on authorities to intervene.
It is really affecting us very badly. Sometimes when the teacher is teaching, we can't even focus on our studies because of the bad smell. Sometimes the teacher walks out because of the smell. And when they are burning it, the smoke enters us, and everyone knows that smoke causes respiration problems. So we please beg the MPs, MCs to come and clear this thing for us.
They again indicated that the residents and the pupils in these schools around regularly fall ill as a result of the heap or the refuge site that is not being tackled on regular basis by those in authority.
It leads to cholera, malaria, and all. I quite remember 3 weeks now. We've covered about 3 or 4 children who were, encountered by malaria and then cholera. So it is a very big headache to us.
Their simple plea to authorities is to ensure that this refuge site is evacuated and the containers are taken swiftly or regularly on daily basis to stop residents from dumping on the floor.
Please, Martin, Mr. MP,
Please do something for us. The municipal assembly, please, we need you to come to our aid. Help us to clear this boiler. We beg you in the name of God.
We are pleading to them. After trying to evacuate or collect these things from here, the next thing they have to do is they should get us someone who can really take care of the place.
So until something urgent is being done about this refuse site here, it will continue to pose as a health threat to the people around, most especially the pupils in the schools around. From Garki, in the Tichman municipality of the Borno East region, my name is Anas Sabit reporting for JoyNews.
The Attorney General Office is promising speedy adjudication of criminal cases in support of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Jakko. Chief State Attorney for Ashanti, Ernest Ayer, says that the number of attorneys posted to the AG's office in the region currently makes it possible to speedily adjudicate and advise on cases. Commuter has more in this report.
The Attorney General's office has struggled to work on cases in the past, but has recently been resourced with at least 30 attorneys assigned to the agency. The Executive Director of Jakko, COP Mamiyatiwa Adodankwa, has been soliciting the support of AG's office with a call for the appointment of a standby attorney to work on Jakko cases. During a working visit to the Ashanti region, she met heads of sister security agencies to get acquainted with the work of Jakko in the region. According to COP Tiwa Adodankwa, collaboration between Jakko and AG's office will go a long way to improve case management.
We want you to get involved from the start. When they start a case, we want them to come and see you so that you start giving the appropriate direction right from the word go. So that when the docket is completed and it is brought to your attention for review, it's not like you have to start reading from page 1 to page 10. You would have been part of the case from the beginning so that it doesn't delay and it will speed up the process. When they open the diary of action, they are in their office to discuss the case with you, and then you start giving the advice and then direction right from the word go so that we get it right from the beginning.
Chief State Attorney for Ashanti region, Ernest Ayer, welcomed the proposal from the Jakko boss. He assured of AG's support to speed up criminal investigations.
It has always been a challenge that dockets will have to take about a year before it comes to the AG's office. We look at it, we put the law by it, and then realize, no, somebody has said this. We should have taken the statement of this person. I believe that this is a good one, that right from the onset, we all start working, and we will be more than willing to work with you. Fortunately, now we have quite a number of attorneys. Gone were the days that the AG's office was struggling to do cases because of the very few number of attorneys that we have. But I think over the past years, efforts have been made to resource the office. And Kumasi is one of the offices which has, in fact, Kumasi is the next office after Accra, which has the largest number of attorneys working. And so definitely, when you bring the work, we will work. It's going to be on a daily basis. Immediately you bring it, it's not as if it's going to lie down.
COP Tiwa Adodankwa also visited the Ashanti Regional Police Commander, DCOP Afobwachi Yadom, and the Regional Director of National Investigations Bureau. From Kumasi, for JoyNews, JoyNews reporting.
Member of Parliament for Notong Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa is fighting off claims that he's quick to make allegations without pursuing them to its logical conclusion. Mr. Ablakwa last year accused the Majority Caucus of aiding the impersonation of the Dome Kwabenya MP during the vote to overturn the approval of the 2022 budget. That's not all. He also, among others, alleged that Kennedy Ajapong of Asin Central and the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte absented themselves from Parliament without the Speaker's express permission. In an interview with JoyNews, the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee insisted he has not abandoned any of the issues he earlier raised.
I think, to be fair to me, I am not one who starts a fight and runs away from it.
I remain very consistent. Indeed, on the matter to do with presidential travels, I've been very consistent. I see that in the public space on social media, some people even want to give me a nickname and all of that. I think I've been very consistent, even at the risk of sometimes boring my audience. I've been very consistent, and I don't recall a time where a member of parliament has pursued a matter so vigorously to get 3 ministers. I got the defense minister to come answer. I got the finance minister to come to parliament to respond to my urgent question. I also got the national security minister. I mean, if that is not committed, dogged pursuit, then I don't know what it is. Then on the matter of absenteeism, I haven't abandoned it at all. I have served notice that it's a matter I'll be pursuing. I'm waiting for an opportunity to table my application and for the Privileges Committee to look into these matters. Indeed, since I started this campaign, my attention has been drawn by the venerable and highly regarded Professor Kweku Azan, who went to court in 2008 and has an appeal court decision, which says that really, once you cross the 15-day mark without permission, your seat should be declared vacant. So I'm now studying that appeal court decision, and it means that the House will have to, just activate. Yes, without necessarily going through. Yes, once you cross the 15-day mark, you don't have, according to the appeals court, you don't have any liberties, any salvation at the Privileges Committee. So, because of those new developments, I'm looking at my options within the current state of the law. On this matter, be rest assured that it's not a matter that I'm going to abandon. You know me, I'm quite passionate about these matters. I follow matters to do with, profligacy, wastage, hiding under chartered aircrafts to just dissipate, the taxpayers' money. So be rest assured there are even other things, far-reaching things that I'm working on, even for, the future of our country. I'm seriously, considering even private members, bill that will regulate some of these matters. So be rest.
On the matter of impersonation, where are we with that? You abandoned it along the line?
On the matter of impersonation, it has not been abandoned at all. I can assure you that we have gathered the evidence that we set out to put together.
It's been over months.
In politics, timing, strategy is very important. Our evidence is ready, is intact. We took a decision that leadership of our caucus, the NDC caucus, at the right time, will put out the evidence that we have gathered. So it wasn't abandoned at all. If it was abandoned, we would not have gone further to carry out investigations, to even, solicit external assistance, expertise that we hide, and all of that. A lot has gone on behind the scenes, but it's about timing, it's about strategy. You see, one issue at a time, and when you throw them in, when you bring closure to these matters, this is very, very important. So the general public should be rest assured. We are not just raising matters and abandoning them and moving on to other issues, not at all.
Cane basket weaving is a popular Ghanaian vocation which can be traced back to pre-colonial times. The skills needed to create beautiful and useful baskets could take many years to master. But do you know each cane basket has a unique name? For our Ghana Man series, Anita Sewa Adjoga explores the beauty and business of cane basket weaving.
Antiata, a cane basket weaver in the Ashanti region, has special names for her cane baskets based on their shapes and designs. This basket is designed like the number 8, so it's called 8-8 basket.
Cocoa basket is on sushi, cocoa pema.
This is also called the cocoa basket because it's shaped like the cocoa pod.
Your iron basket or iron, dear, ocean shapeness one.
This is also shaped like the iron. That's why it's called the iron basket.
Iron basket. Your ton, the honest be or young ton so.
We also have the bamboo basket. It's made of bamboo.
This sandpaper tree and you could tell me any diabo.
This is also called the net basket.
To one day, in fact, I can't be unfried net and the
designs, according to her, attract patrons, mostly foreigners, to purchase most of her products.
Foreigners really patronize my products, especially the furniture.
With little or no formal education, the cane basket weaving business has provided job opportunities for the youth. Under the tattered canopy is 34-year-old Baba, a footballer, now a cane weaver. Baba tells me quitting football is one of the best decisions he took because the cane business is lucrative.
This business has since been my source of income. It helped me foot the bill for my wedding.
82-year-old Cheba For, a cane weaver for many years, is encouraging the youth to venture into the business.
The
youth do not want to venture into this business. This business is very lucrative. They should try it.
A lot of energy and time goes into making a beautiful cane basket. All artisans need is patronage of the locally made products like their beautiful cane basket to encourage local enterprises. For Joy News, Anita Sewa Ajoga reporting.
And I am happy to see you with Joy News Desk. Up next is business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The Traders Advocacy Group is urging all its members to increase prices of their goods and services by 80% following the review of the benchmark values to 30% by government. The group that claims to have a database of all traders across the country to the tune of 10,000 says it is disappointed with government's position but unperturbed by the decision. It is also challenging the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to arrest the city's depreciation against the dollar as promised, else they'll pass the cost to consumers.
February this year, government decided to engage various trade organizations to solicit their views on the best way to implement the policy on the reversal of the benchmark values on import duties. Deputy Minister of Finance Dr. John Kuma and the Commissioner of the Ghana Revenue Authority in charge of customs led the conversation, but the Traders Advocacy Group is expressing disappointment with the lack of coordination and communication between these governmental agencies and the overall outcome. Here is the General Secretary, Nana Poku.
By this press conference, creating an awareness of this new development to all our members and urging them to increase the prices of goods and services by 80%. Just as government has done. After all, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. It's not our fault. Government has not resourced any single trader in the country to start trading. So at the end of the day, if government wants more, as we the traders, we also will not lose our capitals. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are also by this press conference calling on the Vice President of Ghana to arrest the rise of the dollar against the cedi, as he promised. Mr. Vice President, where are you? That is the question everybody is asking.
Nana Poku also said the traders are not perturbed about the support other trader groups have given to government regarding the review of the benchmark values policy.
It's good for our members and the entire trading public is what we are advocating for. So those that have come out in support of government, bravo. But what we are saying is what is so important to us, that if government had gone up 80%, our traders are being urged to also go 80%. It's as simple as ABC. No. Let me explain this. The government is so smart, making it as if the reduction is 30%. It's not 30%.
The benchmark values has become a subject of controversy after the Association of Ghana Industries kicked against the policy, though government has reduced the benchmark values on general goods from 50 to 30%.
The Institute of Internal Auditors has indicated its readiness to work together with the Internal Audit Agency for effective resource allocation. According to President of the Institute of Internal Auditors, Harriet Ekuya-Kakari, the move will facilitate and provide quality services. She says syncing with the Internal Audit Service will enhance efficiency and accountability in the management of resources in the public sector. She was speaking at a ceremony to launch the rebranding of the Institute. Here's more. Branding of the Institute of Internal Auditors is to help the organization evolve and adapt to meet the changing needs of members, stakeholders, and the profession as a whole. President Harriet Ekuya-Kakari said the institute will empower internal auditors to enhance their value addition to impact the profession and the society.
Our members like it because it comes with good remuneration. So our members want the service. And I believe that it will enhance the profession as well. So when the service is introduced, it will be better for our members.
Former president of the institute, Daniel Kofi Kwampa, urged the new administration to pursue programs to increase certified auditors in the country.
The new things I will want them to pursue is to continue to increase the number of certified internal auditors in Ghana. They should pursue a vigorous program so that we have as many certified internal auditors in Ghana as we can. And I believe it will elevate the profession and make the required impact.
The Institute of Internal Auditors is aspiring to be a leading organization in Africa by elevating professionalism. And that's business. Thanks for watching. Sports is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
It's now time for sports, and Twitter verified Muftal joins me in studio.
Actually, you said that if
you said you liked being called Twitter verified Muftal.
I said,
and I should stop calling you. And then I should stop calling you my favorite person. So I've stopped calling you my favorite person, and you're now Twitter verified Muftal. Yes. What do you have for sports?
I prefer the former.
That's not what you said yesterday. Thank you. I hear that my club is being sold. What's happening to my club, Chelsea?
Yeah. Russia invasion of Ukraine is still what is happening. It's still dictating the pace of what is happening within the sporting world. And just a couple of minutes ago, reports from the UK indicates that Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich has extended invites to bid for his club, Chelsea. What we understand is that per the story that was put up by the Daily Mail, he wants about $3 billion, £3 billion actually, for the club. And one of the billionaires that were contacted to buy Chelsea, he's a Swiss billionaire. He said that Chelsea, per the price Roman is asking, is too much. Per the story, Chelsea actually owes Roman Abramovich himself $2.6 billion.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's how much he's pumped into the money. So if the club owes you this amount of money, it's really difficult. And he's asking for about £3 billion before he lets go the club. What we've also read is that there's also the possibility that those who are not coming to take over the club are likely to be more of a consortium and not just an individual. Just as the way he bought it in 2003 from Cambase, as sole owner of the club, this time around is going to be more of a consortium. And what the man actually was saying is that even if that is going to happen, there need to be at least about 7 of them putting together their resources, because £3 billion
is a lot.
It's actually a lot of money.
Yeah.
One of the parliamentarians of Britain had mentioned earlier that the man has also decided to put up his mansions in the UK for sale.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he has a mansion that is worth £125 million.
Okay.
That is based in London. He's put it up for sale as well.
Okay.
So he's selling all his properties because when sanctions are placed on him, there's a possibility that he'll be losing the club. That's why he's had to extend invites for people to come and bid and buy the club.
I see. Do we have any news on local football, local sports? Is there anything happening that's exciting?
Yeah, because the next couple of days we should be seeing the Black Star squad that's going to be playing up against Nigeria. Otoado, the interim head coach of the Black Stars, he's been doing a lot of engagement. He's putting together his squad already. He's spoken to players that were not invited, and he's made them to understand why he didn't invite them to come for the game. But assured them that there's still room for them in the Black Stars. Not playing against the Black Stars, against Nigeria in the World Cup qualifier does not mean that that's the end of their Black Stars career. So he's actually spoken to some of them, telling them that, there's still a lot of opportunities. Even if I'm not here to steer the affairs of the Black Stars, the next Black Stars coach will give an opportunity to come and play for the senior national team. Those are some of the conversations he's had. We picked up some names, but we need to substantiate those names before we put them in the public domain. Okay, Accra, Hearts of Oak, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, are we ready for this weekend? The Super Clash on Friday, big one. And that is actually where the no vaccination, no entry policy begins. I see. Yes. Tell me about that. If you're not fully vaccinated, you will not have access to the stadium to watch football any longer. You would recall that just so we're only starting it this weekend? This Friday, yes. So the whole time we've been playing, we're not a... Hey, wonder shall never end. I don't understand. You're not supposed to understand. You're not supposed to understand. Wait. So all the games we've been playing, everybody can enter. Yes. But this game, what's so special about this game? I don't understand. Actually, it's actually a policy that is beginning on Friday, that if you're not fully vaccinated, you're not supposed to have access to any match center. But why? Like, I don't understand. It's like we're in the 3rd month of 2022. Okay, we're in the 3rd month of 2022. I don't get it. We should have started like long time ago. It's actually a government policy. The government must communicate to the stakeholders that we want you to ensure that this policy is adhered to. Okay. So last night, the Ministry of Youth and Sports released a statement to the National Sports Authorities, to the Ghana Football Association, directing them that if you're not fully vaccinated, you should not be allowed access into match centers. I see. I do get your point where we were getting access to match centers without vaccination and all that. But then we were made to understand that we need to observe all the protocols of COVID-19. So wearing of nose masks was mandatory. Definitely not social distancing. Social distancing. That was not happening in the stadiums. I watched a game and it was not happening. People were just shoulder to shoulder, taking selfies. They even stole someone's phone. So we can say that observation of social distancing was thrown through the window. Yeah. But if government says they want a certain policy to happen, I just think that it could be a terrible decision from the side of government, from the side of the Football Association to adhere. And even in October, the GFA had actually mentioned that they were going to introduce no vaccination, no entry policy. And with this one from government, it just sinks into the plan the GFA had somewhere last year. My thinking is that if we want people to be fully vaccinated before they can have access to the match centers, then you're probably looking at going to play your football matches at closed doors. Okay, so we'll talk about that maybe on Thursday or Friday closer to game day. And that's how we end JoyNews. For more news, you can log to myjoyonline.com. I'm Peter CBD.